Good girl, Tekla. Good girl. Come by me, girl. Come by me. Come right here. Come right here. Oh, good girl. What a great dog. What a great girl. Good girl. But, so today, this is Tekla. That's Mån's mother. Mån's the Norwegian dog. Ark is the Swedish dog. So you got a full tilt Swedish Elkhound male and a full tilt Norwegian Elkhound male. Two bad boys right there. This is the mother. Now Mån's other brother, not from this female, but his brother from the same father, Dogger, is right over there. And he's in with Tuva, the sister to this dog. Dogger, Dogger, Dogger. I gotta tie him out. Dogger, Dogger, you quit whining. He's trying to make a little time with Tuva, and she's still a little standoffish, another day or two. Now, the other day I did a video on some little pups, and Kalia has a litter in the kennel, and Luna has a litter in the kennel, and Tekla's the grandmother to both litters. And I talked a lot about the father's lineage of Luna's litter, and I did talk a bit about Mån, but today I thought, well, I was up for a hike just recently there with some of the others, Kai and a few others, and I got back and I thought, well, before I change and go in, I'm going to do a video on Tekla, because she was out with me yesterday, and we were hiking in tall timber back there. There's a lot of fresh snow, so I'm sinking in about that far, and it's all falling on my head into timber today, so it's tough sledding in there. But I wanted to talk about Tekla because Tekla is one of the very best Norwegian Elkhound females in the world, and an exceptional dog. Now, her lineage comes out of Norway, and almost exclusively, there's almost all Norwegian dogs in this lineage. But some of the Norway dogs were imported by other breeders to other countries, and so the Ravenstone bloodline imported some really good Norway dogs. Tekla is a Ravenstone bloodline, has Ravenstone blood. But her dad is a very exceptional dog. He is the first generation in Canada. Her mother was also a very exceptional dog, and again, Tekla's grandmother was first generation in Canada, both those two dogs. They're very, very high-end hunting lines. Now, the working lineage in the background of this dog has been for many hundreds of years, been focused on traits that are focused on the handler. And so when you see Mån and you see Luna and you see this Tekla behavior and you see Tuva and the little pups in that Luna pen, the little pups in that Kalia pen, you see this behavior. Years and years and centuries ago, the breeders of this line, they had one goal, and I mean, we're talking breeders that have 50 years of, and there's many 50-year breeders in there, and their purpose was to breed the best handler-focused dog. A lot of people miss that whole fact when you're working in remote terrain. All the Norway country is rugged terrain. When you're hunting and stuff, you've got to have a handler-focused dog, and same with Canada here. We've got some pretty rugged terrain. And the handler-focused dogs are much better in the bush. We'll go find out what it is, you guys. And the handler-focused dogs, you see, the breeders would watch, and I'll show you on those pup videos in the next time I take one, but all the little pups would climb over and just sit right here. And the breeders would watch for that trait really early on, and the very, very first pup that climbed over and sat by the handler, of course, they'd hold that female back, right? And then they'd watch on another litter, and when the first male that climbed over, they'd take that male, and pretty soon every litter they were watching for their breeding stock, they were watching on which one had the best handler focus. And I mean, that's one trait. They were watching other traits too, but that's how you cement in a trait over years and centuries and hundreds and decades. You just focus on that trait and you watch that. So you get a dog like this. It's just absolutely focused to be by the handler. It just lives to be right here. Tekla can come inside with me at night when I go in by the fire, and she'll sit exactly like this, and she won't move. She'll stay right there. And last night she came in there and she was sitting on the rug so nice, and she laid down finally, and I just sat by the fire. I had my hot chocolate and stuff, and I thought, she probably doesn't even want to move. So I woke up, she was the exact same spot. I went to bed and she was still in the same spot. So they're very, very good dogs, these dogs. Now, this particular dog, of course, has traceable lineage, and both sides of the genetic history, her mom and her dad, both of them can go back to founding females, different areas of Norway, but they go right back to the very early founding females, and all of the genetic record almost is Norway, Kennel Club, and UK. There's only just a little tiny bit here in Canada. Now, Mon was one of the pups from her first litter, and he was such an exceptional dog. He wasn't even a minute old. I knew who he was, right? I had asked Dakota and Tekla to get me a big white-chested guy I could pick out, and so sure enough, they had one right away for me. Now, you see, I tend to like the heritage of the Sweden breeders and the Sweden dogs, and so I have a real preference for those style of dogs. This style of dog is a very, very beautiful dog, very showy dog. Now, Mon could not win shows, but Tekla could win any show she went to. I was talking about those pups in that other video, and all the heritage of the father of those pups of that litter of Luna's. Luna's a daughter of Tekla, or I might have mentioned that already. But this dog here is superior to all of them. And there's very, very few dogs with full instincts left in North America that can hunt. And I've saw Tekla. It's amazing when she's in hunt mode. Boy, she's very, very good. Yeah, but full instinct dogs with this conformation are very hard to find, and they only come out of the really high-end Norway lines. Now, in her background, of course, she has the lineage, because of the personal nature to the handler and those breeders watching very closely and working with that line. They were able to, not only do they win championship hunting trials, or hunting championships, but they also took those dogs then and put them into the shows over there, and so they were Grand Champion show dogs as well. And you can see why. I mean, this dog is absolutely flawless in every respect. And very, very good dog. Now, her sister is Tuva. She's getting bred to Dogger, hopefully. He's here now with her. He's putting the moves on her, but it hasn't happened yet. But that will be an outstanding litter of pups. And Tekla, I have not decided which male to put with Tekla. Tekla will have a litter in probably she'll cycle in August, so September, October time frame. Now I've got, good boy, come on, you're magnificent. You're a magnificent dog. Now I've got a few options for Tekla. I can use Mon's father. I can use Mon's brother Jaeger. I can use Mon's brother Dogger. We've got Pretty Boy Leaf again. So we have some real potential for Tekla. We can take our choices, and we'll actually take a good look at Tuva and how the pups with Dogger turn out. I know they'll be magnificent, of course. And potentially, maybe we just use Dogger again, because he's such a good boy. He's got that personable skill like you wouldn't believe, right? So very, very good dog. So yeah, so I just thought, well, I wanted to touch on this female. She's the grandma to those two litters up there. And incredible dog. Now her sister, Phoenix, is bred to put Pretty Boy Leaf. And so more of those little pups are coming. Phoenix and Tekla. Tekla could be bred. I'm not going to guarantee that one, but Phoenix and Tekla were the last two females that Tekla's mother had, and I kept them both. We hope Tekla's bred to Pretty Boy Leaf, but I did not see a hookup. They could have hooked up at night, but I didn't see one in the daytime. And it wasn't for lack of trying. They were trying, but there was just, I almost think Leaf might have been a little short. Hard to say, but Tekla's a big girl. Like Tekla's mother. Tekla's mother was a 64-pound big female, rough and rugged big girl. Almost one of the biggest dogs I had. So very, very good dog. Now she passed away accidentally. Is what happened. That was a human error, but still accidental. So I wanted to bring Tekla out. I'm heading in now. I'm going to get some hot chocolate. Come here, boys. Come on. Come. Come on. By me. Ark. Come on, buddy. Come, boys. Hustle. Come on. Hustle up, boys. Let's hustle right here. Come on. Get up by me. Get up by me here. Good boys. Oh, wow. That's my big fellas. That's my big boys. Good. 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 What a pair of big boys. Ark is 25 inches to the shoulder. I measured him last night. So he is so perfect, that Ark. Wow. Mon, he's a masterpiece of excellence, that Mon. These are the two freest, easy moving big fellas you'll ever see in your life. Pretty Boy Leaf's got a wonderful gait, like world class. But Mon moves better, and Ark is just this free, easy moving big fella. Well, Tekla, you did very good, Tekla. We could just sit here and keep talking. Tekla would just sit here. I'd have a snow pile on my head. Good job, Tekla. Let's get going. Let's call her a video, Tekla. Let's go have some hot chocolate. Way to go, boys. What a good set of boys. Oh, my goodness. You guys are pretty magnificent. Couple of handsome boys there. Yeah, you guys are something. You guys are something. Oh, there's Dagger. Let's get a picture of Dagger. He's right out there now. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing, buddy? What a stunning big pellet. What a good boy. I'll get one of him. Or I already did, that's right.